Hey, my name's Willoughby. I want to give you a quick update on my case against code compliance. I have a $50,000 lawsuit against them for invasion of privacy. We had a hearing on March the 5th, and this is why we need a new mayor. The city sent not one lawyer, but 2 lawyers. Think about that, against me. Now, these people are trained, experienced with legal, all that, and they're paid by me. And the city sends two lawyers to defend code compliance when they break a rule. So, I mean, if we have a real mayor, you don't have to go to court. Issues can be taken care of here, but we got to have a mayor. I can't hammer that enough, and I can't hammer enough that we need to remove this mayor. There's never been anybody as bad as Maddie Parker in its history, and we need to wake up and remove her. And if we did that, the next mayor that we put in would respect us, and we'd get some stuff done. So, but back to code compliance. I was more focused on proving that the officer had broke the rules by coming on my property without permission and that's what I was focused on. And I wasn't focused on the rules that it was a violation for the officer, apparently, because my case was dismissed that the officer had immunity. And I made the point clear, even if the officer is not following protocol, that's not acting normal, not doing procedures normal, they still have immunity. And apparently, my answer was yes. But then again, maybe it wasn't yes. The judge's place there is to just look at all the evidence and go with what you give them. If you don't give them enough evidence to win your case, you may not win your case for a lack of providing the proper stuff you need to. And I've been learning this, and maybe I failed by not submitting that code compliance does not have a right. But anyway, that's why it was dismissed, because the officer had immunity. Now, 2 things here. One is that I learned that, well, they sent 2 lawyers down. This is a waste of taxpayers' money. We don't need 2 attorneys against me. A legal aid would probably, I want to get this real quick here. We need attorneys that are not going to come down to win, whether right or wrong. We need attorneys to come down and to make sure it's fair, not to and not be biased. This is our city. We pay them. Instead, they send 2 attorneys down there to protect the code compliant officer. Got 2 attorneys. Can you believe that? This just gets me every time I think about it. 2 attorneys against me? No, this is our city needs to be really examined inside. There's just a ton of things like this wrong, but anyway, that's why I'm doing it. This opens up other things that we get a lot of knowledge along the way here. Also, I want to address the point that if you ever decide to file a case or go to court yourself on this stuff, I hope this will be helpful. But where I've got most of my help is off of YouTube. The lawyers there. There's lawyers on YouTube. You can almost ask any question. They have a video. They tell you. That has been and it's free. We have the internet. So that's been very helpful. And I'd like for you to share that information with other people that, you know, if you have a lawyer, you don't need that. But if you do it on yourself, like I'm doing these cases myself, for several reasons. Number one is there isn't no lawyer available that'll take this kind of case. 2, knowledge, what's going on in our city. I want firsthand knowledge of what's going on in this, and I've been at it. I'm starting to learn the game pretty good. I'm starting to learn it a bit. There's a lot more to learn, but I'm starting to learn from how many cases I've filed in the past. And the first time I filed a case of my own, when the attorneys from the city sent out a document saying about dismiss, requesting it be dismissed or whatever, all this is, the first time was really all new to me. I just thought maybe I'd file, we'd go to court, we'd hear our case and get a decision and go, and it's not like that. You have got to work to get to the court before you get there. We have to have hearings. They'll file things for hearings. Like they this here that we had for code compliance, they had a hearing and got it dismissed. Now I have refiled yesterday a motion to have a new hearing and added in the rules, which I have on the screen here. You can see for yourself. It says that code compliance does not have the right to come on your property without permission or legal court order, what have you. They do not have it without proper channels. This officer, clearly there's no argument here. This officer did that. We have undisputable proof of this. So that part's not an argument. What they were arguing in the deal was that he had immunity. And what I didn't argue was, no, he didn't have immunity. And now I did, that's what I wouldn't focus on. So anyway, I filed another motion yesterday, and we'll see. Now the judge, if she dismisses with prejudice, you can't file a motion on this, is what I understand from you two lawyers. You cannot file. But if the judge files dismissal without filing prejudice, you can file a motion to have the hearing again. And one of the things that the case too, when we was talking to the judge, that the attorney, when I got a chance to even go out and explain everything that happened and what's going on, the attorney said that they got a different story from code compliance. And I did, when the attorneys would ever say, my allege, I cleared that up real quick. It was not allege, it's all fact. So, but anyway, so even hearing attorneys say that she was hearing a different story, that she was unaware of some of this stuff, that the code compliance had told her differently. That's one thing. Two is I did find the documents that do say they cannot go on, so the ruling of dismissing by immunity should be dismissed. That should not hold up. We should get another hearing. Now, at first, these hearings, when I started doing this and I get these hearings, I was kind of thinking, what a waste of time. This ain't fair. Defendant files for a hearing, you have to go down and prove, and then if you win, all you do get to keep going forward. And the defendant doesn't have any repercussions from the hearing either way at it, but you do. So at first I thought if you can have a hearing, why not just have the court case? Why not? If you got time for the hearing, why not have the court case and clear it up? That's the first thing I thought of. And that was my thinking until just the other day. I got thinking more about this because I've done it a few times now. I'm more think about it and analyze it. I kind of like it when they file for a hearing and they want to do this. Because what it actually does is it gives me a chance to go in, or you or us to go in to spar with the court before you get to the main court, before you get to it. It gives you a chance to go through it. And if you can't get past this one, then you're not going to get past that one either, for sure. And if you don't get past this one, there's a chance you can do like I'm doing. You can file another motion, maybe correct something that you had wrong. So now I'm thinking, maybe a hearing is in my favor. It's not really against it. It is in my favor because you have to, if you don't have the stuff to get past here, you're not going to get there. And but anyway, like mine, it didn't get past it. But it showed me, it did expose what the attorneys were banking on. Is that the officer, the only thing they have is that he had immunity. And I think we took that away with this one here. So this judge I believe should give me another hearing. And with the other attorneys on the side saying they heard things from us that they didn't hear before, should also warrant the right of another hearing because, that's what this is all about, getting the justice. So we'll see. And but anyway, that's where we're at on the code compliance thing, and we'll find out. And if the judge does not give me another hearing after what I just submitted, I will file this into appeals. We'll take it to the appeals court and go there.